How
There you
come?
go. The same fridge.
Yeah, wow. It's the same meat too, just but improved version.
Let's see here. It's the same meat. Isn't
My
it?
name is Tori Fitz, and I have a 5-year-old kid named Darian. He's
My
7.
my hair.
You have to what?
Foof my hair.
What does that mean?
It means make it look better.
Foof.
Foof it. I have to foof it up.
I think that one you just came up with. It's not even a word.
Hey, I'm good at new words.
Yeah, you
Nutrifit
are.
wouldn't exist if there wasn't me and my new word stuff.
Regarding this year, as a fitness professional and a busy father, it's really important to me that my kid gets proper nutrition. It's a lot of work filtering through all the stuff that you see on the shelves to make sure that there isn't anything that my kid shouldn't be eating. So with NutriFit, I don't have to think about it. I feel confident that I can feed it to my 5-year-old and not be, over sugaring him. He can still get the snacks and the desserts that he, as a 5-year-old, loves to eat. Jackie Keller, the owner of NutriFit, is one of my clients, and I am one of her clients. Very educated, very passionate about what she does. She suggested that we come out to the farm so that he could see where the fruits and the vegetables that he was eating on a regular basis were coming from.
My name's Phil. I am Jackie Keller's husband and business partner, and part of my responsibilities within the company is to run the farm. We decided that one of the best way to control the quality of the produce that we use for our clients is by growing it ourselves. We're on the central coast of California. Right here we're about 5 miles from the ocean, so we're far enough away that it's warm but not too hot. We have zucchini, we have a couple of different types of cucumbers, we have edible flowers that we're growing. Jackie has made a special nasturtium salad that's got tangy, it tastes like radish. We've got basil, we have marjoram, mint, a couple of different types of mint, kale, lettuce, tomatoes, several different types of tomatoes. We're lucky because it's a very temperate environment. We know no pesticides have been used on it. It's all organic, it's really fresh. It's literally picked one day and on our clients' tables the next day.
Have you ever had fresh lemonade where you made it yourself?
No.
So it's gonna be a first time for you. So I need your help. Really squish it. Ooh, ooh. See, you didn't get much out. See? Yeah, yeah. See how much it's out?
It was great, very educational for my son. The food was delicious. He got to learn, like I said, where the food comes from, what it looks like before it gets on your table.
Wash it really good. Give it oh, that's the way to do it.
And that's what NutriFit's all about. Just let somebody else take care of your nutrition because you don't have time to plan and shop and prepare and cook. When I open the door on Monday, Wednesday, or Friday morning and my food is there, I know it's customized for my nutrition needs specifically. It's like my mom was cooking for me and I told her exactly what I wanted to eat every day, and it's there on my doorstep. We got to see all the things that they grow here and that we eat on a regular basis. We cooked some up, had a great time.
My name is Ina Tuller. I own a business. It's a construction company, maintenance company. I've been in the country for 21 years. I have 3 daughters, all in colleges. I work out every day in a gym and I run. Food wasn't really ever a deal for me. It was mostly like don't be hungry, and then I decided that I need to take care of my body. So someone recommended me NutriFit and I called and my life just changed. It was like, oh my God. It feels like the food is made for me. It's clean, it's organic. I know I'm not gonna get something that I wouldn't put in my body otherwise. Get up in the morning, there's breakfast, and then it's lunch, and I don't have to think about it. I have the menu, it's ready. It's just like having a private chef at home every day, which just doesn't get boring. And I'm amazed how that happens. Even the same pancakes, they come in, I don't know, 20 different ways. It fits my body, it fits my schedule, it fits my health. I think it's great. I trust her. I trust Jackie. We talk every week, every 2 weeks, and we're going through the changes of my life and changes of my body, and changes in my diet. I mean, I feel the love, and I love her too. There were times I was going out of town, and I actually had Jackie shipping the food. Several times I went to San Francisco, and I found food in the lobby of the hotel. It's great. It's amazing service. I brag about my food. I share my food. I love my food. I take pictures of it and send it to my friends on Facebook. I think it's good for everybody. It's good for people that work out, people that do diet, people that have health issues, people that want to stay in shape, people that want to get in shape. Anybody can find a vitamin. Everybody.
Welcome to NutriFit. Your meals are delivered fully prepared on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays between midnight and 6 a.m. The coolers are secured with tamper-evident safety seals. The bags and ice will keep your meals fresh for up to 8 hours, so refrigerate them when you retrieve your bag. Check the label on the container for storage instructions. Your printed menu is in the top compartment of the bag. You can use it to help organize your refrigerator. You can stack the meals in the refrigerator by day of use. Make sure that you properly store items that do not require refrigeration. Some items can be put into freezer bags and frozen for future use. Check the label on the container for storage instructions. Make sure to loosen the lid and remove any garnish items for heating your meals. Use minimal reheating times and add more time if needed. You can also reheat your meals in a non-stick skillet or in a separate oven-proof container. Be sure to drink plenty of water with your meals. Water and green tea are an important part of your meal plan, so include 8 glasses of water per day and at least 1 serving of green tea daily. We recommend that you use a dinner plate so that you can see what your portion sizes should be. You can add more flavor to your meals with our salt and sugar-free spice blends. We do not recommend that you add salt to your meals. Your palate will quickly become adjusted to flavorful, low-sodium meals. Your menu is also a feedback tool for us, so please take a few minutes after you eat to rate your meals. We want to know how you liked each item. Simply mark the menu and feel free to include any other comments that are related to your meals. Put the ice packs in the cooler bag and the completed menu in the top pocket. Put the bag outside your door for pickup. Welcome to the NutriFit family. We hope that you enjoy your healthy gourmet meal service and are confident that you will achieve your goals.
I am Nathan Russell. I grew up in Florida, and I'm here in LA now doing acting. Sometimes you'll have 2, 3, 4 auditions in a day, and you got to go from 1 to 1 to 1 to 1. I try to work out a lot just because you don't want to get fat. If you're not doing something to go forward, you're just treading water. You always try to do something every day, something. I'm going to start a series in the fall.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be really fun. I'm not really big on the whole cooking thing. So for me, it's a lot easier to have food delivered to the house. Before I had NutriFit, I had tried a couple other delivery systems, and I mean, it was the food. It's a struggle. And then when I went to NutriFit, I was like, oh wow! I think it's great for people who are single and you don't feel like cooking. You have an active lifestyle. You tell what you like, what you don't like, and it kind of siphons out the stuff that you didn't like to eat. And you get more of the stuff you like to eat. Like I love the Caesar salads here. So I get a lot of Caesar salads. I get Mexican from them, I get Asian from them. I even get Cajun Creole stuff. There's some stuff I haven't even heard of.
Our succotash has zucchini in it that we grow ourselves.
See,
I see those little colorful stickers on the top of the box.
If you gave me a big bowl of that, which is, I'd be fine with that. Yeah, the fact that she has a farm and they grow all their own vegetables and they do all that kind of stuff and they know exactly what's going into it, it makes a big difference. It's funny because every time I talk to Jackie on the phone, it's usually a half-hour to 45-minute conversation. I would consider her a very good friend because I can call her up and, I might be calling up for something here, but then we'll end up on some life issue or something like that. She's really knowledgeable what she does. I always see results. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's how I look at it.
All we have to do is open the front door, pick up our bag, put it in the microwave, and it's done.
Having these healthy meals prepared, it's definitely worked out financially.
The best thing about NutriFit is how it makes itself.
It saves me time and energy and effort as well, plus the benefit of losing weight.
The taste, just the taste is amazing.
It's perfect from a convenience point of view. I couldn't ask for anything better. So I first decided to use NutriFit when my husband and I realized we just didn't have enough time with each other anymore. So we were both busy working full-time jobs, getting home late at night, tired, having to decide what to eat.
I saw a picture of myself when we came back from Cancun, and I was huge. Grossly huge. And I said, Jane said, well, I love you anyway, but I really think that it would be a good idea if I tried to go to the gym. And she says, I don't think going to gym is really going to cut it for you because, quite frankly, it's your eating habits.
I first met Jackie years ago in caring for her mother. Found out about NutriFit, didn't know much about it and sort of put it on the back burner. What happened is that I decided to pay more attention to my health. As it turned out, in my practice, which deals a lot with older people, it was frustrating dealing with chronic illness. And I decided to turn my practice into more of a wellness practice. I was talking to people about eating healthy and getting the proper exercise and so forth, and decided to practice what I preach.
I had a real issue with portion control. Pretty much, you go to a restaurant in America, you sit down, and you have a lot of food in front of you. And if you're already out of shape, your stomach's been expanded, you're going to eat whatever's in front of you. It's conditioning.
I had a child, and when I was expecting, it was a free-for-all. I ate everything and gained a tremendous amount of weight.
I was eating a lot of bread, a lot of sugar, a lot of different things like that, and I really needed help.
The thing I like best about NutriFit, it actually starts with Jackie Keller. You're talking about somebody here that she's not an overnight success. You're talking about a highly educated, really track-proven record person. She's very passionate and professional.
I love when I open the door in the morning and my NutriFit meals are there for me. It's always exciting to see what's inside. It's a little surprise every time, and everything's always delicious.
I've been getting regular meals about a year now, and not once have I questioned it. It was the best choice I've made. I did it actually with my own money, starting from it. It was all my birthday money that I got that year.
NutriFit prepares lovely meals. They're fresh. There's a variety. They're very accommodating. If you don't like one kind of food, you can call and say, leave that out. Service was wonderful.
In my line of work as a personal trainer, it's really important that my clients be taken care of, especially if I refer them to a different service. And I've used NutriFit in the past in order to really help my clients reach their goals.
With NutriFit, there was an immediate effect. Immediately. Within 2 days, I knew I was no longer gorged and feeling full all the time, that I'd eaten exactly what I needed to eat, and I moved on and I did something else.
Eating NutriFit certainly boosts your energy because the food that they serve is so healthy, and eating at restaurants or eating out there's so much sugar and salt and butter that is so bad for us. So definitely our energy level increased after we first received our NutriFit delivery.
Since NutriFit, my energy level's gone way up. I don't find myself being tired in the middle of the day, as well as my body is leaned out significantly, where I've been able to go from a 36-inch waist to a 32-inch waist in a very short period of time.
My energy level and my satisfaction were just way up there. And I also thought, because I was nursing, that it might affect my supply, but it didn't at all. I was abundant in that category.
When I go out to eat, which I still go out to eat, I pay attention to the portions of food. I pay attention to what I eat. It's made me have a greater awareness of my own body.
The immediate effects for myself, my own personal experience through using NutriFit, is that it gave me a benchmark on how big my meals should be.
NutriFit will tailor its menu to what you decide you're going to have.
For instance, some of my clients have food allergies, and the nice thing is, first thing that you get when you do the NutriFit program is an option where you choose or to either exclude certain items or include certain items based on your needs.
I actually have some allergies, so immediately when I found that out from my specialist, she said, you have to stay away from certain foods. I called NutriFit immediately after, and they were fine with that and checked it off, saying you can't do that. And I get on my tag my name and then do not put this in.
The great thing about NutriFit is you're not locked in. There's no commitment. So just try it for 1 week and you'll see for yourself how delicious the food is and how much healthier and more convenient it is for you than going to all these stores, and how much more time you can put into your life to doing other fulfilling things.
Where I work, sometimes it's difficult for me to find food or find a time to go get food, so my eating habits weren't the best. I'd end up at vending machines or trying to get snacks that weren't the best for me. With NutriFit, I'm able to have my meals at the office, and then it's just really convenient for me to just go and grab a meal.
I'm on the road all day, and I'm going from studio to studio to studio, and I don't have time to eat in between, so I bring the pack with me. And most of the studios I work at have a place where I can heat it up. So I've done that several times, and it's been great.
The experience was so personalized. It was according to my taste and my preferences. And if I received a type of food that I really didn't care for, I never saw it again.
A few people are definitely skeptical about the price, but when I sit them down and say, well, how much do you spend eating out during the week? How much do you spend on your groceries? Then they realize it's really not that much more of an expense. In actual fact, I think it can be very affordable, especially because you're getting such wholesome, good foods that are specifically catered for you.
NutriFit has definitely made a big difference in my life. When I hear all the whether it's commercials about other products or whether I read articles about proper foods, I know I'm getting the proper food, and I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to worry, am I getting the proper nutrition? I know it's there.
With NutriFit, you're neither too young or too old to have a good life.
Just this week, my friends were eating at In-N-Out. I was eating there too, but I was eating my burger. So we all had burgers. Mine's just healthier.
What I like best about NutriFit is how it makes me feel and the convenience of it.
I feel so much better just eating healthy. I really do.
I don't feel as hungry throughout the day anymore. I really don't.
It's something that I now recommend to patients. I recommend to friends.
What I like best about NutriFit is that it is so easy.
NutriFit is convenience.
It will help you. It will make you feel better. I guarantee it.
The thing I love the most about Jackie is that she's a real person, and using her as a coach, it's not that you're walking through the door and just handing her some money and then she tells you what to do and you go on with your day. She actually listens to you, helps you set goals, and is there for you and makes you feel like you really matter in her life.
Losing weight is a complicated process, and I would suggest anybody to get a wellness coach because they can help you break down the facets of it, take a look at each facet, and figure out how you're going to accomplish it.
When you have a coach like Jackie, she's very, very easy to get along with, first of all, motivated like beyond belief. And the other thing is the results, and she's doing the same thing, you know? So to me, it's nice to lead by example, and when somebody does that, being a coach myself, I know that you can motivate others, and that's what she does.
Well, I definitely had a lot of weight to lose, and Jackie came highly recommended, and as soon as I met her, her energy was just off the charts fantastic, and I knew that if anybody could help me, this woman could.
I started at 326.5 pounds, and you can see I had a long ways to go. But through the coaching and through my work and through Jackie's always supporting me, I've been able to get under 200 pounds. And I still would like to lose a few more pounds, but I have a new life.
My primary goal when I first met Jackie was to just to lose 30 pounds. At the time, I didn't know anything about, you know, inches and all that stuff. I knew nothing about it. I just knew weight. And when I got into it, it just started melting off super fast in terms of the weight, but my body structure changed. You know, I started seeing a lot more muscle, a lot more tone, and, you know, the inches was tremendous. I had nothing that fit me anymore. My clothes just fell off.
Before I met Jackie, I was really tired all the time. It was hard for me to want to go out and have fun. I never got up and did anything exercise related at all.
I didn't have a tool set. I really didn't know what to do when I had serious hunger pangs, and I didn't know what food combinations might settle that. Or I thought maybe if I slept less, you know, I would lose more weight because I would be exercising more. And you know, I had a lot of wrong ideas, things that were not helping me lose weight. And when I started working with Jackie and talking to her, and, you know, she would ask me, you know, what are your obstacles? And I'm like, well, I'm too hungry this week. And she's like, you know, have more fruit or do this or do that. And again, she just coached me over every single obstacle that I had until I could find what worked for me.
One of the challenges of weight loss is it's a long-term process. And one of the most valuable things was to have Jackie there, pushing me really to keep going, because it does take time to lose weight.
This last 2 years of, you know, losing weight and keeping it off for a year has been 2 of the happiest years of my life, thanks to Jackie. And I really want to thank her because I know she just puts her heart into soul and into everyone that she talks to.
It added everything back into my life where I know I had a lot of energy. I could go dancing again for hours and not be tired. You know, I didn't want to just sit on the couch. You know, I wanted to get out and do things, activities outdoor and all that.
At first I thought it would be hard to have a relationship and for me to be making a change in my healthy habits, and my now husband wasn't making those changes. But after a week or 2 of me feeling more energy and he noticed how much more I was living life, he wanted to join the program as well. And so he took advice from me that I was learning from Jackie and applied it to himself. So from the tools that Jackie gave me, I was able to teach my husband, and now he eats and does things just like I do, and we do it together.
I feel like I have options. I have possibilities that I did not have when I was 80 pounds heavier.
My life is like night and day difference. I had heel spurs, I had knee problems, I had acid reflux, I wasn't sleeping well, I slept on a pillow. Now, all of those are gone. I still have a little bit of challenge with my knee, but all of those are gone.
It was such a positive thing for me and my family. After probably a few weeks, I just really noticed that everything was just melting off, and it just felt so good.
And it's literally like getting out of prison. I can move now, and I plan to get better and better and better. And it's the most exciting thing I have ever done.
I just recently got married, and I was able to use the tools that Jackie gave me to get ready for my wedding. I was the smallest I've ever been on my wedding day, and so was my husband. I was in a sample size 6 dress, the smallest thing I've ever worn. I cannot believe that I was wearing a 6. And I just felt really confident and beautiful on the most important day of my life.
Jackie has helped me set the benchmarks of which I need to keep working towards. And I wish it was like a book that would just automatically happen, but it isn't. It's dynamic, and you have to work at each one of those pieces, and Jackie helps keep me on track.
My life changed where, my fitness, I felt so much better at home, working with my kids. I have a lot of kids, so, we run around the house and all that, chasing them. I wasn't exhausted. I wasn't winded. I felt healthy enough to where I could go out and run and do the things that I couldn't do for a long time.
After working with Jackie on my weight loss program, I feel like I have a sense of self-empowerment. I feel like I can do this on my own, and her advice will resonate through the rest of my life.
I have zero regrets in terms of going through the whole program, because now I know I could continue to do this. I could do this on my own. But, you always need that nudge, and to stay on track. So I love it.
I feel I have hope in a way that I never had hope before.
I just want to say thank you to Jackie. She's done more for me in my life than anybody else, and she's given me tools that I will use for the rest of my life, and I will teach my children and my husband and all my friends. So thank you. The thing I love the most about Jackie is that she's a real person, and using her as a coach, it's not that you're walking through the door and just handing her some money and then she tells you what to do and you go on with your day. She actually listens to you, helps you set goals, and is there for you and makes you feel like you really matter in her life.
Losing weight is a complicated process, and I would suggest anybody to get a wellness coach, because they can help you break down the facets of it, take a look at each facet, and figure out how you're going to accomplish it.
When you have a coach like Jackie, she's very, very easy to get along with, first of all, motivated like beyond belief. And the other thing is the results, and she's doing the same thing, So to me, it's nice to lead by example, and when somebody does that, being a coach myself, I know that you can motivate others, and that's what she does.
Well, I definitely had a lot of weight to lose, and Jackie came highly recommended, and as soon as I met her, her energy was just off the charts fantastic, and I knew that if anybody could help me, this woman could.
I started at 326.5 pounds, and you can see I had a long ways to go. But through the coaching and through my work and through Jackie's always supporting me, I've been able to get under 200 pounds. And I still would like to lose a few more pounds, but I have a new life.
My primary goal when I first met Jackie was to just to lose 30 pounds. At the time, I didn't know anything about, inches and all that stuff. I knew nothing about it. I just knew weight. And when I got into it, it just started melting off super fast in terms of the weight, but my body structure changed. It started, I started seeing a lot more muscle, a lot more tone, and the inches was tremendous. I had nothing that fit me anymore. My clothes just fell off.
Before I met Jackie, I was really tired all the time. It was hard for me to want to go out and have fun. I never got up and did anything exercise related at all.
I didn't have a tool set. I really didn't know what to do when I had serious hunger pangs, and I didn't know what food combinations might settle that. Or I thought maybe if I slept less, I would lose more weight because I would be exercising more, and I had a lot of wrong ideas, things that were not helping me lose weight. And when I started working with Jackie and talking to her, and she would ask me, what are your obstacles? And I'm like, well, I'm too hungry this week. And she's like, have more fruit, or do this or do that. And again, she just coached me over every single obstacle that I had until I could find what worked for me.
One of the challenges of weight loss is it's a long-term process. And one of the most valuable things was to have Jackie there pushing me, really, to keep going, because it does take time to lose weight.
This last 2 years of, losing weight and keeping it off for a year has been two of the happiest years of my life, thanks to Jackie. And I really want to thank her because I know she just puts her heart into soul and into everyone that she talks to.
It added everything back into my life where I know I had a lot of energy. I could go dancing again for hours and not be tired. I didn't want to just sit on the couch. I wanted to get out and do things, activities outdoor and all that.
At first, I thought it would be hard to have a relationship and for me to be making a change in my healthy habits, and my now husband wasn't making those changes. But after a week or two of me feeling more energy and he noticed how much more I was living life, he wanted to join the program as well. And so he took advice from me that I was learning from Jackie and applied it to himself. So from the tools that Jackie gave me, I was able to teach my husband, and now he eats and does things just like I do, and we do it together.
I feel like I have options. I have possibilities that I did not have when
Heel spurs, I had knee problems, I had acid reflux, I wasn't sleeping well, I slept on a pillow. Now, all of those are gone. I still have a little bit of challenge.
Let's say hello to everyone. We have to find some music to say hello.
Yeah.
Bunch of new friends.
Yeah.
That's so nice. I'm gonna change the.
How's it going tonight, Chef?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I am going to go off a little bit and put the things that are supposed to be served warm in the oven.
All
right. Instead of the microwave.
Okay.
What do you think?
You can.
Well, it'd be a little while before we're eating, John. So don't.
Oh yeah, I put it on a low temperature just to keep it warm. Like at right now, I've got it at 275.
Yeah, that'll work.
The only thing that you need to take out would be the.
No, that container is not oven.
Yeah, of course. But I mean, the only thing that you cannot put in, it's obviously the container, but also that little the little sauce.
Oh yeah, I took everything out of the plastic container and put it in.
And you're gonna eat the burrata and with the Jerusalem artichokes and the beets.
Yes.
That one is cold. Everything else.
Okay. All right. Perfect.
Okay. Hey, Ari. And Jim, hi. So good to see you guys. Oh, it's so exciting. It's like, the whole family's getting back together. I love it. I love it. So exciting. Hi, Tara.
Oh, there's Melissa.
Where's Melissa? Where's Melissa? There's Melissa. Hi.
Hi.
Oh,
hi, Velma.
That's my mom and
Velma.
Cousin.
Oh, look, everybody's there. Hi, Mom.
She's not saying
hi. She's not saying hi back. Regina. Hi, Regina.
No stress.
I know.
Hello. We need some holiday music or something,
We should, but I don't have any.
We don't have any great. Where's your Hamilton playlist when we need it?
We could have done Hamilton.
We have people admitting. Everybody's coming in. We're so excited for tonight on so many levels, right? It's just a very special evening. We are so happy to see all these wonderful friends and new friends. It's just great. Oh, there's Chase.
There's Chase.
Hey, Chase. Oh, good. Well, we'll get started in just a minute. I think
Yeah.
we have a lot, several more people.
We
to join, but
have
people are coming in
20
right
more,
now.
I think.
Great.
I know some people are coming a little late, but that's okay. When we have the majority of people that we expect, we'll get started. In the meantime, how about a song and dance, Oscar?
Song and dance?
Yeah, no.
I'm not the kind of guy.
No. That's not going to happen. Would anybody
No.
like to entertain us while we're waiting for the rest of us to come? Who's up? There's Tara. Tara's doing YMCA.
I thought it was yoga.
Oh boy. Well, there's Lois. Lois will have a positive suggestion for a playlist.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. Hi, Lois.
YMCA.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. We could all be singing.
My bad.
Okay.
Hi, Jackie. It's Robin. I work with Stacy.
Oh, hi, Robin. So glad you could make it.
You bet. Couldn't wait.
Oh, it's going to be a lot of fun. We are so ready for tonight. We are really ready for this evening.
We all.
It must be Friday.
Seriously.
It feels like a Friday, right? It feels like a Friday.
Where's everybody from? Are you all from the LA area or California or out of state? What's going on here?
Anybody unmute and feel free. Share. Come on, guys. You know,
I'm in Arizona. My husband and I, Bill, we're in northern Arizona. So
okay.
The food was still cold when we got it, thankfully.
Good. That's always a good sign. Well, we have San Diego. Regina and her husband are here. Dick, right? Regina and Dick. Richard.
I'm from Mar Vista, down the street from the offices.
Oh,
right?
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm from West LA.
Okay.
Hey everybody, Costa Mesa, Orange County here.
All right. Hey, Tim.
Hey.
Chase, where are you? You're Silver Lake. Or Echo
Everybody.
Park.
Yep, I'm in Silver Lake. This is my girlfriend Callie.
Hi guys.
Callie.
We're excited for tonight. Should be fun.
It will be.
So mostly California then.
We'll probably show a little bit more about you, Chase. So
Sure.
get ready to see yourself on video.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Fun.
Or at least talk about him for sure.
We have some very special guests tonight too. We're going to wait to introduce them till everybody can meet the family. We have some special family.
Jackie, I have a question.
Go for it.
How large is this event in total?
Tonight we have 40 people who received kits. So I know not everyone is able to make it to the Zoom call, but there's 40 people who are joining us. A number of them are guests and friends of my favorite Honda person in the world. We're going to put him on. Let's spotlight Jim and make him say something. Okay, Jim, you're on now. Jim Burrell. Jim, say hi to your friends.
Well, this is kind of an evening.
Why did we freeze?
Uh-oh, you're frozen.
Oh, Jim, you're frozen.
Now, but John Watts, who's also on the call, and myself, I had 31 plus years, and Watts has had, I think,
34.
More than I have. 34. There we go. And there's a lot of other Honda retirees and Honda associates and people that we have both worked with. And I think we've got a total of about 15 people, either spouses, et cetera, of Honda associates. So we've had a lot of fun. And I always have to thank you, Jackie, for your support of the hydrogen fuel cell. And I don't think people know what a adventurous person you really are to be driving a hydrogen car for like the last almost 10 years.
Yeah.
And there's been times when we only had 3 hydrogen stations in California, and it was not an easy thing to do. We're up to 41, 42 now, And I hope that you're able to enjoy it much more. Anyhow, I thank you very much for all that support you've given Honda in driving a fuel cell for so many years.
Well, right back at you, Jim, because I have never, and I can genuinely say this, and then I think we'll start our dinner presentation, but I have never been treated so well by a company as big as Honda is in my life by any company. I mean, honestly, you guys have taken such good care of me and the other hydronauts that, you know, we're adventurous enough to be the pioneers and the guinea pigs for this car, but you made it as easy as you could, I think, from the standpoint of enabling us to take advantage of new technology. And you know, I mean, I'll be eternally grateful to you for that, because it's very unique to be made to feel special by a very large company, to be recognized. And, you know, I'm just another little person. So thank you for that. And I love my car. So I'm all about promoting not only hydrogen and fuel cells, but promoting Honda and the Clarity brand, because I have loved that car since the first prototype I saw at the LA Auto Show, which was probably 12 years ago. And it looked like a little spaceship. And I turned to my husband and I said, I want to go to the moon, and this is as close as I'm gonna get. So put me on the list and get me that car. And I waited and waited and waited. And the day that I got the call from Steve Ellis that said, are you still interested? I danced around this office because I've never won a lottery, but that day I won the lottery, and I've been grateful ever since. That's a true statement.
Now, John Watts has been handling the NSX program, and that might be another car that you would be interested in.
John,
Yes.
Put me on the list.
Okay. We'll fix you right up. I'll take good care of you.
Okay, you got it. You got it. In fact, I even talked Oscar into a fuel cell.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's driving a Mirai, but he's going to upgrade pretty soon. I'm working on it.
Yeah, that was the first step to get to the good one.
Very good.
That's great. Well, thank you for all of your dedication to our products. We appreciate it.
It hasn't been hard, honestly. It just, you know, I'm a daredevil anyway, so what the heck, you know? So you're down to below 20 miles below the zero on the rangefinder. Well, you know, you got to have faith, right? You gotta have faith. So
great.
I think it's time for us to get started with our dinner, huh?
Perfect.
Yeah, we have a lot of people here and more people joining, but those of us who have tuned in early are ready, I think, to start our event. So welcome to our fifth or sixth NutriFit sixth guided virtual train tasting experience, as Oscar named it. It's exceeded our wildest dreams in terms of not only you know, the participation from people from all walks of life and from all avenues of relationship with NutriFit, but it's just been more fun than I could imagine, I think, right? And we have had a blast, and we're having so much fun. We've already decided on the theme for next January, the end of January. So you can mark your calendars now for January 29th, and we're going to take you on a world tour of all the places that you can't go to, but wish you could and eat there. So, but let's prove to them how fabulous healthy food can be, shall we?
Perfect. We should.
We're going to start by asking, if you haven't already done so, to find in your kit the little muslin bag that we included with the little earth-friendly plate. You have a plate that looks something like this. Yours is made from sugar cane. Mine is made from palm leaf. We included this because we think that it makes it easier to take out the things that you want to take out and cut, or that you might want to eat separately. But also we included the muslin bag because in it we put a votive candle. We think that fine meals should be enjoyed by candlelight. truly. And this is a fine meal. This is a 5-star meal. It's 9 courses if you count every dessert as its own separate course. It is designed by a Michelin star chef. And for those of you who don't know anything about Oscar's background, when he gives you the little brief rundown, I think you'll be impressed. But light your candle. I had a thought that, you know, tonight is the second night of Hanukkah for people who are celebrating. I was gonna, true confession, I was gonna dye the candles blue. You know, I thought it'd be kind of cute, you know, light a candle, it's Hanukkah, light a candle, it's a nice meal, and we should make it a different color. So I set about trying to make the candle blue, and instead I made my hands blue. So if you see blue hands, please know that they didn't touch your food blue, and they're not diseased, or and there's nothing wrong, but there is a little bit of food color.
And it's not a Smurf either.
Yeah, I don't know how to take the blue out, but the candle is designed to be lit, so I'm going to light ours.
There you go.
Okay. And in the muslin bag, you'll also find some herbs and flowers and some citrus, all from our farm on the central coast of California. So we harvest, grow, and bring back to LA in our earth-friendly hydrogen fuel cell vehicle from Honda. We bring back organic produce, which we then incorporate into the meals that we make and meals that you have tonight. So we know the sense of smell is your strongest sense, and we want you to start the evening calm. So you'll smell lavender in your bag, fresh lavender. We grow it and we use it in our meals, and it is known to promote a sense of calm. So if you want to start your evening off calmly, you might want to take a whiff of this. And
you can be calm right now, and then after all the wines, you're gonna be happy.
Calm and happy, right? Okay. Go ahead, Oscar. Oh, let me introduce my executive sous chef. I know some of you have heard me say this before, but it's something that I don't mind repeating over and over again. So indulge me if you already know how important this guy is to me. You want to leave while I embarrass him? No, he has to step away for a minute. But I will say, Oscar's been with us here at NutriFit for about 7 months, and the truth is that I've been looking for somebody to join me in running this operation for a long time. We're 33 and a half years in business. And it's hard to find somebody who shares your vision when you've been doing it for 33 years. You don't expect ever to find somebody who has the same passion, who has the same love for your product that you have. You don't expect to find somebody who understands you. That's a hard thing, right? And for those of you who own businesses or have employees, I'm sure you know that it's a challenge to find somebody to share it with. And I was looking for that person. I had a headhunter colleague who's a search person looking for me for the right person to share everything with. And I had no luck for a year, despite a very professional approach and a lot of effort. And then one day, Oscar literally walked in the door. Literally. And the rest is history. I mean, how random is that? Just one of those random things that happen in life that you're grateful for. And sometimes I just have to pinch myself because it's real and it's true. And despite our vast difference in backgrounds and experiences, he's managed to come into NutriFit and fit in very well. And I'm really grateful to him for being here. So right now, I think he's trying to help somebody get into our meeting. But when he comes back, he's going to tell you a little bit about himself. and we can have him get you started with your wine tasting or your mocktail tasting. So I hope you have some glasses ready. You don't have to have a separate glass for each course of wine, but if you have 3, you might want to do that. Otherwise, you can just finish one and pour directly into the second one. Same thing with the mocktails. The mocktails, there's 3 different mocktails. And the way we're going to orchestrate the event this evening, you'll see on your menu, mine has a grid. Each of you have a menu that came with your meal kit. And on that menu, you'll see a diagram. And the diagram tells you the order of the courses. So I'm going to start out by admitting all the mistakes, right? I already told you about my blue fingers and the disaster with trying to make the candle blue. So now the next thing I'm going to tell you is that the order of the courses is wrong on the sheet. So, true confessions. Course number 1 is actually what's numbered as course number 2. So that's just a little true confession to start. And now Oscar's back.
Hi.
So I'm going to let you talk a little bit about, I was just orienting everybody to their kids.
Oh, perfect.
So why don't you tell them a little bit about yourself?
Well, pretty much everybody knows me, but hi.
No,
my name is Oscar.
Doesn't know you.
Almost everybody.
No.
For my culinary background, I studied my bachelor's degree in Foundy in Paris. And then I went to Escoffier to do the master's degree there. And I was the executive chef at L'Espadon in the Ritz Palace. After that, I went to New York. I was working as executive chef for the catering for the Rockefeller family. And I did my PhD in culinary science in the CIA, the Culinary Institute of America, not the other one. And then in Paris, we got 2 Michelin stars. And in New York, I got my sommelier level 2.
So that sounds like it happened very fast. And since Oscar ran through that very quickly, I think you'll be impressed with the meal. Suffice it to say, it's extraordinary in many ways. And Oscar also curated the wines for tonight's pairing. So perhaps you want to talk a little bit about our first course of wine, and I'll talk about the mocktails.
The first course, the wines we're gonna do, the first wine will go with the first and second course. Then the second wine will go with the third, fourth, and fifth. And then the third wine is for the desserts.
So another reason for sort of preparing yourself is because that second wine sample or mocktail sample should last you through 3 courses of the meal. So kind of pace yourself. You might want to have some healthy water on hand, because you can always drink water in between your courses and in between your beverages. But you'll want to have some glasses handy. So what are we drinking first, Oscar?
So the first one is, I know for a lot of us, we have a lot of influence from our fathers. So this one is something that this author made for his father, and it's called La Joie de Mon Père. So it's a really, really good wine. And it's from old vines.
Okay, well, you'll have to translate La Joie de Mon Père for the people who don't speak French.
La Joie de Mon Père is the joy of my father. So that's something that that inspires a lot of people. In this case, it inspired this author to make this wine. And let me show you this wine. The wine is this one. So this is the first one that you're going to start. In your little bottles, it says for the first and second course, and it's called La Joie de Mon Père. Go ahead, Robin.
Did you want to ask a question, Robin? Unmute yourself.
No?
No. Okay.
Oh. So this is the first one that we're going to try. And I'll walk you through the flavors that you're going to get.
I think the first mocktail course is the cranberry No, it's the Mesa Mint. So if you're having mocktails, you might want to open up the Mesa Mint and start with that.
And like I was saying, this one, the La Joie de Mon Père, maybe you've heard of it. Right now, it's the best region of the world for wine. And it's right at the bottom of the Rhône. So what you would call Côte du Rhône, right at the bottom of it, you have a really, really good wine. And that's where this one is coming from. It's called Châteauneuf du Pape. So I think a lot of you have heard of it. So this is Châteauneuf du Pape, the first one that you're gonna have.
So the wines in Europe, right, are named after the region in which they come.
Exactly.
Right? No.
So like I was telling you, this is a Côte du Rhône or Châteauneuf du Pape. So the difference between this one and why we don't call it a Merlot or why we don't call it a Cabernet, it's because there's old world wine and new world wine. Old world wine is where all the monarchies used to be. It's where like, let's say Spain, Germany, Hungary, Portugal, France. And then the new world wine is the US, Australia, Mexico, Argentina, Chile, all of those places. So New World is where all the explorers went, and Old World is where all the monarchies used to be. So this one, like it's Old World. In Old World, they call it by the region. So you have Côte du Rhône, you can have the Châteauneuf du Pape that we were saying. You can have Chiantis, Riojas. All of those are just regions. It doesn't mean that it's a certain
it's a place, not a type of wine. So those of us like me who used to think that Chianti just was cheap wine that you bought in a big bottle or it came in a box, that's wrong.
Yeah, that is wrong.
It's actually wrong.
Yeah, because you have grape wines in each region, and obviously you have to read what it has. All of the old world wines are what you would call author wines. So they mix different kind of grapes to get the mix that they actually want.
So do you know the story behind why he did this wine as a tribute to his father? Do you know anything?
His father wanted to do a winery, but he died before he was able to fulfill that dream. And this guy did it to fulfill his dad's dream. So that's why he calls it La Joie de Mon Père.
That's a nice story. It's a lovely story.
Yeah.
So,
and I know fathers are very inspirational for a lot of people,
yeah,
including us.
Including us, yeah. That's Oscar and I both lost our dads at a very young age. So it's amazing the influence that has on your life path in general. I'm sure we're not alone even in this group with people and friends who've lost parents at a young age.
So let's start with our food, and we will start pairing also. You have a menu. In your menu, you will have specifically what course goes first.
Except the mistake.
Except the tasting guide.
I already got that out of the way.
Don't worry about that.
I already got that out of the way.
So we're gonna start with the first course. First course, you don't need to warm up anything. After the first course, we're gonna warm up everything else in the microwave for 1 minute, but we'll tell you about it right now. You don't need to warm up anything. We're gonna eat the first course right out of the box. So the first course that we have is Jerusalem artichokes with beets and fresh burrata cheese.
Except Stacy doesn't have beets.
Or salt in anything.
Or salt. So there are some modifications to these courses because we do have people with food allergies and intolerances, and I just hate it, don't give it to me issues. So we always try to accommodate those. But you'll find your beets and Jerusalem artichoke in this long container. And there's some other special things in there with that, with those vegetables and that fresh burrata cheese. Why don't you?
So this fresh burrata cheese, you'll see that it's not white as a normal burrata that you're used to. This burrata is pink, but that's because I wanted to mix. Well, first of all, the burrata was made yesterday, so you're not gonna have a fresher burrata than that. And I wanted to mix some of the paprika chilies that we grow. And like we said at first, this whole meal is based on our experiences and what holidays mean and what joy means. And that's why we're trying to give you these stories and what they mean to us. So this one,
Here's my little pepper.
it has paprika pepper, which is this one.
So this little guy, we have a paprika pepper plant, a Hungarian sweet pepper plant on the farm, and that is an homage to my heritage. I'm first generation in this country. My parents were both from Hungary, and I grew up with paprika. I mean, everything had paprika. It had to have paprika. It had to have Hungarian paprika. It had to be Szeged brand Hungarian paprika. My aunt had to send it from Hungary to my mother. Otherwise, it wasn't the right paprika, and she couldn't possibly work with it. So when we decided to start growing vegetables, my husband decided that I should have a Hungarian paprika plant, pepper plant, so that I could, carry on so he didn't have to hear about all the paprika problems that I had. So we actually bring back the peppers from the farm and put them in our dehydrator, which is where your citrus from your Muslim sachet came from. And then we grind it up by hand and, well, not by hand, but we grind it and it's in your fresh burrata cheese. So that should be a very special taste. It gives burrata a wonderful flavor and color.
Exactly.
And we think it pairs nicely with the Jerusalem artichoke and the
wine.
And the wine, right? And why is that?
So this wine has a lot of minerals, and that's why we chose it for the first one. And the minerals come from the mountains that it gets. This one is in a plain, right below one mountain. So you get the rain on top of the mountain, and then everything goes down, and you get all of those minerals at the bottom of it, and that's how you get it in your wine. So if you want, start with your first wine, and then remember we have to oxygenate it, and that's doing this. And the oxygenation of the wine is made so you can get all of the flavors up and you can smell all of them. Remember all of the wines that we're giving you here.
I'm gonna do it on the table so I don't spill it, because I'm not very good at swirling the wine without it spilling out of the glass.
You can wear it if you want.
No, we don't want to wear it. It doesn't come out, it's red wine. It doesn't come out, it's stained, right?
Oh, also,
it's a waste of wine, right? So we don't want to do that.
So this one, you'll feel the earthiness of the Jerusalem artichokes. You'll smell a little bit of smoke from your burrata, from that paprika. You smell a little bit of pepper.
Takes a little bit of practice to find those smells, I think, in wine. Some people get it right away. I think you have to have familiarity with the fragrance in order to recognize it and to find it in the wines that you drink, right?
Exactly.
So if you have to kind of think about tobacco, or what did you say?
You have pepper in here. You have pear in there.
That's lovely, actually.
So remember, you have to think about what the object or the smell that I'm saying, so you can get it. Try to get to your Muslim bag and smell the lavender in here.
And for those of you who are having mocktails, your cucumber, lime, lemon, mint, spinach, all of those vegetables are present in the mocktail that you have, which is designed to sort of even out your palate so that you can enjoy the flavors in the food that we've sent to you.
Exactly.
And while you're working on that, I want to maybe ask you to take a minute to take a look at the back of your menu. Here on the back, the side that doesn't have the grid or the explanation of the menu, you're going to see a blog post that was written to sort of explain the reasoning behind holidays and celebrations. I mean, it seems self-evident, right? We're in December and it's typically a month when people celebrate holidays, but I know that a lot of people, and in my family, it's particularly true, holidays are not necessarily times that we want to celebrate. I mean, they can be trying times. Holidays can be really hard on people. I don't know if there's anybody in the waiting room that needs to come in. No. We should check. Okay, so holidays are a mixed bag. And this year they're really a mixed bag, right? So we thought, well, we're going to do holidays and celebrations, not holiday celebrations or celebrating holidays, because those aren't necessarily the way we want to go. But one thing we all need more of in our life, no matter whether we're celebrating a holiday or finding an occasion to celebrate, is happiness. So this blog post, which my son Adam wrote, is all about happiness and finding happiness in the meal that you're enjoying in the holidays. So I hope you'll take a minute to read it, because it really does speak to how we came up with the theme for tonight's meal, and we hope that it brings you a certain amount of happiness, because that's what we all want, right?
Of course. So after this one, we're gonna go and warm up our meals now. For you to be able to warm up your meal, you just have to put the lid on top of your kit, but just loosely. Don't press it down, and then put it in your microwave for 1 minute. Remember, the meat has to stay at a certain temperature. So just put it in 1 minute. If you feel that your food is not hot enough, then you can add 15 seconds to it, because we know every microwave is different. But we would suggest 1 minute to start. So you can go and warm it up now.
And while you're doing that,
should we leave this in when we microwave
No.
it?
No, take out the sauce. That's a good
The
point.
sauce, yeah.
You have
Just
one
checking.
sauce container. Everybody has this sauce container separating the sauce for the meat course or non-meat meat course. So take that out, because it's not microwave safe, and heat the rest of your meal just to the point where it's palatable for you, which may be a minute, might be a minute 15, probably not less than that, maybe slightly more, right?
Maybe.
Yeah. And shall we give people an opportunity? Anybody have any questions yet so far? Not yet. Awfully quiet out there.
I was just going to say, Jackie, that your son wrote a really lovely piece about happiness. So thank him for taking the time to do that. It was very thoughtful.
Thank you. Yeah, he's a very special guy, which most parents would say about their sons, right?
Yeah.
In fact, we have a special guest tonight, and I bet she has something wonderful to say about her son. Can we unmute your mom? Oscar's mom has joined us tonight from Houston. And we want to introduce not only Oscar's mom, but Oscar's wife, who's also joined us this evening, and Oscar's sister is on board, right? Is she here?
She's there. Yeah.
She's here too. So maybe we can take a minute and have the family, meet the family. It's my first time too. So hi, Mom. It's nice to meet you. Mucho gusto.
Nice to meet you. Mucho gusto. Thank you, Jackie.
Thank you for your son, Hilda.
Thank you. Thank you for
And I guess it's your cousin too.
Yeah, and my cousin.
Say hello, everybody.
Hi. Hello.
Hello, everyone. Greetings from Seattle. Greetings to Houston there.
Hi, I'm Gabriela. It's nice to meet
Gabriela,
you.
yeah.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you so much.
And I have to agree, it was a delightful letter, beautifully written, and I'm really appreciating the fact that you're adding the bittersweet of the holiday.
Okay.
Very
Good.
thoughtful. Thank you.
Yes. Well,
Thank you.
Along the compliments, because it all goes to him for the writing of the blog post. And with every tasting that we've done, we try to communicate that we spend a lot of time talking about what do we want, why do we want to do this, and what do we want it to have meaning for. I mean, there's meaning behind it. It's not just a random, oh, let's just throw a party and have a dinner and invite people to join. I mean, there's usually something that motivates it. And I'm glad that translates. So thank you.
And I just want to encourage you to go even further, because it makes the meal going from 100, which was already beautiful, to 1,000.
Okay.
So it's your audience is deeply appreciating it. So thank you for that.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Melissa, where are you? Let's say hi to Oscar's wife, Melissa. She's I've had the privilege of meeting her a couple of times, and she is one of my favorite young women.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
We can. You're far away, but we can hear you.
But we don't know where you are.
We don't see you.
We don't see you, but we see the wave. So welcome.
Oh, well, I'm really excited to be here. Thank you so much for this wonderful meal, and I'm so happy to share it with all of you. This is wonderful. Thank you so much.
Well, we don't know yet because we're still eating, right?
Yeah, we're still gonna
thank
eat.
you. Thank you in advance.
Yeah.
So let's go back to the meal and see where we are. What are our vegetarians and omnitarians have eaten the same thing so far?
Yeah, and they're still gonna keep going with the same. So we have the second course is a tagliatelle with veggie bolognese and grilled shiitake mushrooms. Here you
I'm
go.
going to show you what that looks like. It's in the little odd-shaped container.
This one.
The odd-shaped little opening, and there's a sauce on top that looks like meat. But for all of us, we're trying to encourage as much plant-based food consumption as possible. And the challenge, of course, is always to find products that complement a high level of sophistication and don't taste and taste right?
Exactly. So now that I take advantage that my family's here, they won't let me lie. This is what we have every single Christmas. We love that. It's the bolognese sauce, and then you have the shiitake mushrooms on top. And then also, if you can take a look at those tagliatelles that you have under, those are freshly made too. And those are specially made just for you.
So we, Oscar loves mushrooms, and we find it challenging to kind of keep up with sometimes with, keeping him supplied with the kinds of produce that he really loves. But that sauce is made with two very special things.
Exactly.
Right?
So in that sauce, you will find that it doesn't taste like a regular sauce or bolognese that you would taste here in the US. And that's because it's made with organic San Marzanos. So San Marzano is a specialty tomato that couldn't be grown. And I said couldn't because we have magic hands Phil here that can. So I said the San Marzanos tomatoes are not able to grow here in the US. And you cannot grow them in California, even you can grow everything in California. Well, this one's I said no. But then Phil came to me one day and then he said, oh, look, we found these tomatoes right here. And And I said, do you know what you have in your hand? And he said, no. Then I said, well, those are San Marzano. So I was really happy. That's when we started doing all the tomato jams and this kind of tomato sauce.
So we actually have a little video of the greenhouse on the farm where the tomatoes are grown. And we thought we might take just a few seconds to share that with you. We can find it, we'll bring it up on the screen and we'll show you the tomatoes on the farm.
Continue our.
And this is a little video that my son Adam, our son Adam, produced. Here we go. We're going to share the screen with you right now. Here's our greenhouse.
So we're going to continue our tour. We're going to go into the greenhouse here. Take a look and see. So this is greenhouse number 1. You can see we have hydroponic tomatoes growing here on the left. So that's what all these are. The plants are just about ending tomato season here, so these plants are looking all right. They're just nearing the end of their production cycle though, so that's all right. And then we have some really nice looking hydroponic bed here. These are channels, so slight difference between the two systems, but there's a nutrient solution that is pumped up into the channels from there, and it pumps into the other side, and then it flows down, and excess is dripped down while the plants take up what they need, and then the system recirculates. So you can see here we have some beautiful heads of lettuce growing. We have curly leaf endive, another species of endive right here, a very nice little basil plant growing. And then coming down we have beautiful arugula growing here, some more arugula, and again some really beautiful looking organic hydroponic lettuce growing right there. Some of you may have been to Africa and seen a baobab tree. Well, in their infancy, these are what they look like. So we're growing a few of these. Some seeds were brought from Madagascar. So farmer Phil managed to germinate them, replicating the conditions inside of a elephant's stomach. So you have to boil the seeds and then file them down a little bit first to kind of replicate a digestion process. But these are maybe 4-6 years old, and they'll live to be somewhere around 800-600 years old, and they'll get 30, 40, 50 meters tall, so 150 feet. So we're looking at some very much in the infancy stage, but right now they're doing okay. They're about to go into their dormant period, so they'll lose their leaves, kind of replicating the conditions of a dry and wet season in Africa. So yeah, that's those. We have a Moringa tree. It's another tree, I believe, from Africa. That's a very special medicinal and edible tree. We have some baby loquats growing over there. And then this is called a chaya plant from southeastern Mexico. The leaves are also edible. So these are some more of our experimental type plants that we're growing here. These were gifts from some friends. So we're gonna see how they do.
So that's a little bit about the farm. You see where the tomatoes come from now.
And you probably noticed the channel system that Phil has set up to grow without tapping the resources of the earth, because we live in a desert here in Southern California, and the farm is also located in an area where there's not a lot of water. The challenge has been to irrigate entirely with drip. It's entirely drip system irrigation, and the two greenhouses are all hydroponic greenhouses, so various ways of growing without using excess water, without tapping the resources. The soil, of course, is organic, and the heirloom seeds that are bought are germinated by us and then hand put into the ground, hand tended, hand harvested. And so we think it kind of reflects a little bit of our dedication to being good stewards of the earth. In fact, the farm is a certified wildlife habitat. So very proud of our authentic certification from the National Wildlife Federation. And that means that we have gophers and rabbits and other wildlife. We don't have any like exotic wildlife. We have the kind of wildlife that exists in Southern California or Central Coast of California on a farm. But at least it means that we are taking good care of the wildlife that's there and trying to create a habitat-friendly farm environment. So we're proud of it. And
it also means that I'm never gonna get watermelon because the gophers get to it first.
Everything we put in the ground that is good to eat, the gophers seem to really enjoy. And they tend to burrow under the beds and wait for the perfect moment to suck the plant and the fruit right down through the ground. And so you can go out one day and you can see these beautiful melons or these great Swiss chard plants or green bean plants. And then you go out the next day all excited. Oh, great, I can harvest it. And it's gone. There's nothing there but a hole. And you know the gopher has just dug in underneath it and just went and ate the whole thing. But what are you going to do? You know, you can't kill gophers. You can't kill anything really.
So at least it means that he enjoyed it.
And he's healthy, very healthy.
So Jackie, I know someone who used to be the animation director for Disney. That would make a great cartoon. But I was going to ask you, how many acres is the farm, and what are you going to do with those African trees that are going to grow to be so old?
Well, the baobab, I'll answer it in two parts. The baobab trees, we've been lucky enough to go to Africa twice on 2 different safaris, and we just fell in love with these magnificent trees that, you know, really do live for 800 years, and they grow 150 meters high. They're gorgeous and so unique. So, you know, I always like to have unique, gorgeous things in my life. And I thought, you know, wouldn't it be great if we could grow a baobab tree? And actually, I think it was maybe even Phil that had the idea that we would try it. Adam went to Madagascar. He did some of his environmental biology research there, and he brought back the seeds. And then Phil went through this elaborate preparing the seeds process to replicate a elephant's digestive tract or something. I don't know what. Anyway, bottom line, complicated. Anyway, it was just a lark to see if we could do it. Quite frankly, Lois, there was no great plan. It was like, let's see if we can actually do it. And then now we have these trees that eventually will grow big enough to, you know, fill the whole 5 acres that we have. No. The farm is 5 acres, and the trees will find a home there. It's actually much of the acreage has oak on it. California live oak, which is a protected oak, so you can't cut them down. So the amount of land that we can use for farming is limited by where the oak trees are and where the light comes in and all of that. But the plan is to eventually put them in the ground and just see what happens to them. You don't put them in the ground till they're at least 10 years old, which seems like a very long time to wait to put a tree in the ground, but I guess they are slow growers, and that's why they're long livers. So we'll see what happens with them. So far, so good. They've fared better than some of the other things that are less exotic that you would think would grow easily and die. I'm happy they're still alive.
So, and I was just going to say that the venti bolognese is amazing. I hope you guys put it on your menu.
Oh, thank you.
It's really wonderful.
So after you finish this this course, you can finish your wine for this course. And because we're gonna go with another one, you can try it.
You can try it.
I'll talk about the next one while you drink.
I'll drink.
You'll
Santé.
be happier.
Salud. Happy Friday. Happy Hanukkah. Merry Christmas. Happy
Not
New
Christmas
Year.
yet, but
Not
Hanukkah
Christmas
yet.
yet. Well, you know, It's Friday. We're
Friday.
celebrating.
So next we're gonna go with just a fantastic wine. I mean, all of them, I think they're fantastic. This one is very special. It's called Saint Jean de Barou.
We'll show you the bottle.
All the bottles are staying today.
Yeah.
They like me today. This is the bottle. It's called Saint Jean de Barou. The author is Pierre Guimel. So this wine is very different from other wines that we've tasted, because this one doesn't have any oak in it. It was never in oak. It was never in steel. So the difference with this one is that this one is called Pierre Noir. So instead of a regular bed of soil, they have black stones all around it. So it gives it a lot of heat. So we get a lot of concentrated flavor in this one. After it gets picked, you get a low amount of wine from it because it had that amount of heat. And after it's picked, you get it. They put it in barrels, but the barrels are made from concrete. So it's concrete and enamel. So it makes it very, very different from any wine that you've tasted. And I'll tell you a little bit more about it when we pair it with our third course. So our third course for my vegetarians are paella with soy riso.
And the third course is in this container here. So this is an omnitarian meal that we're showing you. And this would be the compartment where you would find either the paella or the turkey. So why don't you talk about the inspiration behind the paella, Oscar?
So the paella is, well, we had to say something about my Spanish heritage. So you have to have paella. Maybe Lois can understand that. You had to have paella. And then also talking about traditions, for my omnitarians, we have the roasted turkey with fig and pear chutney.
And I want to say a couple of words about that roasted turkey because when we were coming up with the menu, we wanted to do a combination of our different traditions. And of course, Oscar's heritage is Spanish and French. Mine is Hungarian. And we're here in America where a lot of people have turkey at Thanksgiving. They have turkey at Christmas. We have employees that ask for turkeys both times. We always try to give our employees turkeys and they ask for it both times. So the turkey that we are using is a free-range turkey breast. It's ABF, antibiotic and hormone-free. Yes, Robin, you have a question? No? Question?
Oh, I just want to know if we can reheat this, because
yeah, if it's cold, of course.
By all means.
That means I talk too much.
Same thing to do with it.
We've been yakking, so your food got cold in the meantime, I guess.
Yes. So what, like another minute or?
No, I would say at most 30 seconds.
Try 30 seconds, Robin.
Cool,
yeah.
thank you.
You don't want it to
overcook it.
Overcook. Especially that turkey, which is very, very moist and very tender. And it's I'd like to take a minute now while we're enjoying that course to introduce another special guest that we have with us this evening. Tonight is just a night of wonderful friends and family and NutriFit friends. But I want to introduce our vendor actually for our extraordinary proteins. So Chase, why don't you say a little bit about yourself and your mom and your company and everybody, this is Chase Ross.
Hi, everybody. It's nice to meet you. Jackie, Oscar, thank you for having me tonight. I'm having a great time already. Callie, my girlfriend, and I were blown away already by the tagliatelle veggie bolognese. That was so good. I thought I was eating that for sure, but it was incredible. But yeah, my company is called Pueblo Trading, and we're a family business based here in Los Angeles. When I say here in Los Angeles, I know not everybody there is necessarily in LA. As I heard, there's some pretty we're pretty spread out tonight. But we've been in business for 38 years, and my parents were in this business, and their parents were in the same business, and we're wholesale distributors, and we specialize in the distribution of protein products, and we inventory here in LA and also in the Midwest as well. And I love working with Jackie at NutriFit, because it's fun to work with customers who are always, looking to kind of change the game and be creative with their menus. And together, we're always sourcing new products that are really, really interesting. And I think that are like always just top-notch, antibiotic-free. Today we were working on Wagyu brisket together, imported. I mean, we're doing all sorts of cool things together. And the quality of the products that they use are really incredible. And I have a great time, sourcing them for you. And, we work with a lot of small ranches domestically and also internationally as well. And, everything is humanely raised, and really, really stressed on no antibiotics ever, no steroids, and just really pure, all natural beef and other protein products. Like she said, the turkey is free range. It's a really incredible product. I know that the quality at NutriFit is top notch, and you guys have an amazing program. I'm excited to see this menu and see the creativity that comes out of us working together, and what you turn my raw ingredients into, because I could never do this. So really, it's really cool.
Oh, thank you, Chase. And thank you for being such a wonderful vendor. I sometimes feel like I'm plaguing the vendors with these requests for, can you give me the nutrition facts? Can you tell me the name of the ranch? Tell me where it comes from. Tell me more about it before I'm willing to say, yeah, I'll try it, or send me a case. So Chase, thank you for all of the support. It's really been a pleasure working with you, and I'm looking forward to torturing you more with more special requests.
A little bit more.
A little bit more.
I'm here for it anytime. So, thank you guys, and I love being a part of this. This is a lot of fun for me. So
great,
cool.
Great. So what are we finding in this wine?
All right. So this wine, I'll show it to you here. One of the things that I love about this wine is that it's rare to find something that's 90 points or above. This one is 97 points. It's a huge, huge wine. You'll find right away fruit. You get raspberries, you get blackberries, vanilla. So always remember to try to smell from the middle of from the middle of the glass, so you can get all of the flavors that I'm talking about. And you'll get rosemary there too. If you don't smell it, then go to your sachet again, and then you can smell it there. So this is for this course, which is the turkey or the paella. And then after this one, we're gonna go to the fourth course, which is a great course for me. It's the filet de bœuf en croûte with wine and cranberry demi-glace. Let me show it to you.
So for both the vegetarians and the omnitarians, it's this pastry wrapped filet. And did we have anybody that was gluten-free today?
Yeah, we have several people that are gluten-free without.
So the gluten-free people have the filet without the pastry crust.
Pastry, exactly.
But
inside you will find also brie cheese, which I feel very fortunate that I ask for things that are my favorites and then I get them.
He's very spoiled.
I am. So this one, I love. When I was in New York, my favorite cheesemaker was Murray's. So I said, oh, it would be great to have Murray's. And then she got it for me. So that was great. So in this one, you will put the sauce that you have in that little container, you will pour it on top. It's a really great sauce, but you can taste it first to see if you like it, but I would do the whole thing on top.
It's made with fresh cranberries.
And you have Pinot Noir there too.
Pinot Noir.
So in this one, well, obviously the quality of this meat is great. We cooked it only for 36 hours in sous vide.
36 hours it swam in the jacuzzi. Like Oscar likes to say, he's fond of romanticizing
Exactly
the cooking methods that we use here.
But it is romantic.
It is romantic. It is romantic.
So like I like to say, this is the most romantic method to cook, because let me explain. You put your meat friends together, and then you give them a little wine, and then you give them a little vegetables to eat.
Oh, you cozy them up in a bag, right?
I'm not talking about that part.
No.
And then you give them the wine, you give them the vegetables to eat, and then you put them in a jacuzzi for 36 hours. So they're having a really good time.
So they party in the hot water, the circulating warm water temperature bath that the sous vide creates. And
so you have to agree it's romantic.
Yeah, it's romantic. And that produces, with great quality meat to start, that produces that extraordinarily tender beef that some of you are liking. And the vegetarians also have a pretty special.
Yeah, you have an impossible meat en croûte. So you have exactly the same, but your meat is obviously not meat. It's impossible meat, which is from a lot of vegetables ground together and made into that texture. It doesn't have any feelings. It doesn't have anything that you wouldn't want to eat. And talking about that meat that we said, the filet de bœuf en croûte, to cook it this way is what you would call the slow cooking method. And we do this slow cooking so people that are not do not like salt or do not want to eat that much salt really get that flavor out of it. We were comparing to fast food. The fast food adds a lot of salt just to get that flavor quick and fast, and so you can get a little bit of flavor from it. But it's full of sodium, which is not good for you. And in this case, we cook it so long so we can develop the actual flavors from all that beautiful meat that we get from Chase. So you can really enjoy it without any added salt or any added nothing, pretty much.
Well, there's lots of herbs that we grow on the farm.
Well,
right?
yeah, but I was just talking about the meat.
Yeah. So we hope you're enjoying that. And I think we're still on the mocktail. We're still on we switched to the cranberry fizz. So for those of you who have mocktails, you should be on cranberry fizz to complement the cranberries in the cranberry sauce that's on for the meat or meat equivalent dish.
Yeah. So in this one, this Saint Jean de Barreau, you can taste a lot of like I said, the rosemary. You get blueberry right away, right when you smell it. It's an organic wine, by the way. So if any of you have sometimes issues with the wine that you think that it makes your head hurt, this won't. It's an organic wine. Like I said, it's 97 points.
We have organic grapes on the farm too.
There you go.
Yeah, they're not wine grapes. Well, there's one vine that we don't know what it is because we don't know, because we still can't get to the grapes before the birds do. But we won't bore you with the video of the wine.
So I always love to say the not so common smells that I get from the wine. And like we were talking about the romantic part, think of a cobblestone street in whatever part in Europe. It can be Hungary, it can be Paris, it can be Spain. Think of that cobblestone street right after it stopped raining, and try to smell it in your wine. You get that one. I get it right away. But also you will find leather there. So you have two different smells that you're not used to, but you can smell them if you think about that.
I think Oscar smells leather in he smells leather very easily because he's constantly exposed to leather. And that's because Oscar's wife, Melissa, who's here with us tonight, has her own business. She's also a woman entrepreneur like me. We share that. And her business is high-end leather accessories for dogs, leashes, collars, halters, beautiful Italian leather, dog accessories. So Oscar's around the leather, and I think that's why he finds the leather in all the wines. What do you think, Melissa?
Maybe
Is
I'm
that
biased.
why? He's very biased that way.
Well, actually, here's our little puppy, and she's wearing her leather
We cannot
harness.
see her.
We can't see her, Melissa. You have to bring her closer to the camera. Is she shy? Is she camera shy? I know
She's
that.
me. Can you see her?
Now we can see her, and now we can see you.
There you
There we are.
So we're watching you.
She's sporting her Italian leather halter there. That's so sweet.
Oh, and we love her. We love her so much. We're inspired by her to make this beautiful business, and it's called Poise Pop. So
That's
we
right.
have harnesses, and we have leashes and collars, and she's a great model.
She is a beautiful model.
What's it called again? What's your company again?
Poise Pop.
Okay, thank you.
And NutriFit clients, by the way, do friends and family, NutriFit clients, anybody that wants to associate themselves with us gets a 20% discount on these fabulous leather accessories. So for those of you like me,
wow.
I have 3 dogs. We have about 300 pounds of dog. Unlike the model that you see that is maybe 15 pounds at the most. We have 300 pounds between the 3 dogs, and they're all wearing beautiful leather collars now, thanks to Voice Pup, and a nice discount, a beautiful, generous.
Yes, if you use the code NutriFit20, you can get 20% off.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So anyway, that's the leather in the wine,
That's the
right?
leather in the wine. Maybe I'm biased, like I said. So after this course, we're gonna go to the 5th course, which is a transitional course. It's a small little course, but
It's a bite-sized course.
exactly.
It's right here in the center compartment of your meal kit.
It should be the only thing that you have left. So hopefully you are able to eat everything else.
And this is the same 5th course for vegetarians and omnitarians.
Some people don't have the crostini on the bottom. Some people don't have the blue cheese.
Is missing from some people who don't like blue cheese.
Exactly. But this is set to reset your palate. And so you can get all of those flavors and reset everything. You get that creaminess from the blue cheese and that strong flavor from the blue cheese. Then you get the sweetness from the caramelized pecans and walnuts that you have there. And then you get that acidity from the pear. So that will help you reset all your palate.
Except the pear doesn't have natural acidity. The pear has acidity because of the way you cooked it.
Yeah, so it's poached in port wine.
And it just a little bite, so you can take it with a spoon and pop it in your mouth.
Exactly, and you can finish your wine with this one, the Saint Jean de Barou. You can finish it with this one, because we're going to another wine, and this is a very special wine.
And if you're drinking mocktails, we're on to the 3rd mocktail now too.
Exactly. So we're going to start with this wine, which is Black Ops from Hugh Hamilton. Hugh Hamilton is a really good wine author. It's from Australia. So like we said before, this is New World wine. This is the bottle that you have right here. And this Hugh Hamilton, you'll smell a lot of herbs. So you can go back to your sachet. That's one of the reasons that we gave it to you. So you can smell it all along the experience. So you get a lot of herbs. You get ripe red berries. You get a little fig. You get maybe blueberry jam. So try to think about those things while you're drinking it. And that's gonna be the start for a great dessert.
Get ready.
Not only
desserts.
one.
Yay.
Yeah, it's time for sweets. Unless you started with the dessert course.
Which some people do.
Some people start with dessert. In fact, we did a tasting earlier this week, and one of the women said, but I already ate my desserts. And we said, why did you start with desserts? I mean, there's like this whole meal that, we're going to go through the meal first and then get to the desserts. And she's like, no. I always eat dessert first, because that way I get my sweet craving taken care of. And after I get my sweet cravings done, I can enjoy my meal and I don't crave sweets afterwards. So I thought that was kind of an interesting justification. Not that you need to justify
No.
enjoying desserts. You can just go straight to dessert if that's what you want to do. But now we're all ready for an elaborate dessert course.
Exactly. So we're gonna start with the dessert. So we'll show you the way that I would eat it, or that it was designed to eat it. But it doesn't mean that you have to eat it that way. You can eat it in whatever sequence you want, or a little bit of each one, or you can eat it all like I would do. So to start, we're gonna start with the creme brulee tiramisu.
That's this one.
I wanted to make a mix of a lot of things. I love tiramisu, but I also love creme brulee. So I thought we could make a mix out of both. So it's the same way that you would do tiramisu, but the custard that you see on top is creme brulee. So you will have that mixed in, and you have a little hint of mint there from the chocolate shavings on the top.
A little bit of a lot of things.
Yeah, a little bit of a lot.
But what there isn't a lot of is cream.
Exactly.
There's no cream in it.
No cream.
There's no butter in it. It's absolutely healthy. And I think Oscar would probably say nutrified. We've nutrified him since he came to work for us. He has adopted the health profile that we try to promote for ourselves. We start first with ourselves, right? You got to walk the talk, otherwise it's meaningless. So Oscar has really jumped in with both feet and is not only cooking more healthfully, but living, I think, a little bit more healthfully too.
And losing weight. Which is great.
Which was the goal. So there you go. But
just 15 pounds. I'm not saying anything else, but thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So
that would be the first dessert. Then for the second dessert, I would go to something that I like to call, because I don't know how to say it, but then a good accent will tell you.
I'll tell you about this dessert, because this one's from my heritage. This is the swirled pastry that you see that's not in a cup. This pastry, the little story, my mom, as I mentioned, is Hungarian, and she was great at baking things that were Hungarian. Things that were not were kind of the regular cakes and pies, never. But Hungarian pastries, that was something that she knew. And we grew up with poppy seed based pastry that's called, the Hungarian word is begele, and the filling is made from poppy seed. And the Hungarian word for that is makos. So it's a makos begele, but it's also made traditionally with a walnut filling, which is called diós. So there's makos and there's diós. And my sister used to always want the diós, the walnut, and I used to always want the makos, which was the poppy seed. And my mother would not make both because it's a lot of work to make the pastry. It's a lot of work to roll it up and get the swirl and get it right. And she absolutely said, it's one or the other. You guys figure it out. And my sister was bigger than me and older. And so usually she won. And we had diós instead of makos. But because I love both, I thought you should have a taste of both. So what I did for your pastry was I did both. So you might pick up that pastry, and if you look at it carefully from both sides, you might see that there's both the poppy seed and the walnut fillings. And so that's the little story about my mother's Hungarian makos diós. And she would probably be rolling in her grave because I combined them both in the one pastry, but I think it actually works pretty well. So I hope you enjoy that.
It works excellent, Jackie. And we
thank you, Gabriela.
From an older sister, I appreciate you combining.
Oh yes, well, you know, I always lived in that shadow, so now I get to talk about it and experiment myself. But in the end, the result I think is very pleasing. So I may have just engineered a whole new dish.
Well, you definitely did a great job.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So like I said, with my great accent, it's called Gerstensen.
It's not called Gerstensen. It's what I'm going to call your creme brulee.
There you go. So after this dessert, we're going to have another one.
See, you're not even trying.
Yeah, I know. We're going to have another one that has a funny story. It's the baklava. So we're going to have that baklava that looks like this.
This one here that looks like this.
Yes. That looks like
that's
baklava.
Not chocolate. The one that's not chocolate.
Yeah. So this baklava, I made it because I know in holidays and a lot of celebrations and in December, a very common thing to see is fruitcake, but I don't like fruitcake at all. So this is my version of fruitcake.
It's not a cake.
It's not a cake, but it's my version. So this baklava has in the top part and in the bottom part, it has lavender. In both of the middle layers, it has rose petals. And then in the middle, you have persimmon.
Persimmon.
Oh, I was so close.
You keep trying.
Persimmon. So you have persimmon in the middle. And I think you'll like that.
Do you want to show them one little short video? Would you like to see one little video of the honeybees on the farm? We are successfully. Oh, good. I got one nod. Yes. Yeah. All I need is one little bit of encouragement, and then I
go.
We're going to show you our honeybees. There's a very funny story about it. While Oscar is getting the video, I'm going to tell you that the hive that you're going to see was my Mother's Day present. And if you think that that's a strange Mother's Day present, it probably is. But I really wanted honeybees on the farm, and the first hive that we had collapsed. So this year, because Adam is up at the farm and waiting for his PhD program to start, I implored him to please try again with a beehive, because I really wanted honeybees. So this is our hive, and Adam is going to narrate a little video for you so you can see it.
What I'm doing is I'm kind of prying it loose a little bit. Because the bees use they secrete a substance called propolis, which is a sticky type substance that they use as glue, almost like a building material. There's the front of the hive there. So I'm just removing the lid really fast. We're just gonna take a peek inside the hive, see how we're doing. Okay, everything looks pretty good. Nothing major. Generally speaking, they all look pretty happy and healthy. And we're just gonna put this down here for a second. Okay. And really fast, I'm just gonna take a peek inside and see how they've come along building out some reserves for the fall. So, winter is approaching and they should be building up their honey reserves. I've been feeding them a little bit of sugar water feed. And what we're doing right now is none of this honey is gonna get used. For us, this is all for the bees themselves, just to make sure that they're nice and happy over the winter. So, let's see, there we go. All right, should be good. Let's look and see. So the outer frames, they tend to fill up last. So if we see some good honey reserves built up in the outer frames, it's all right. Yeah, they're just starting to get there. They're starting to cap the honey, you can see. And that's good for long-term storage when they cap it. But you can see here, down in the hive, they've got a lot more reserves built up on the inner frames. And that's good. That's what I wanted to see. So we'll put this down for a second as well. Let them go there. Then I'm just gonna take a peek at this one really fast. You can see they're pretty calm. I didn't really need to use any smoke or anything on them. They're acting really nice and calm. And that's a good sign. That means they're generally happy and healthy. If they were not, they'd be acting up a little bit. They'd be getting more angry. Yeah, now you can see here, they're really building out some nice honeycomb. If we put that right there, it's a beautiful color. You can see this is all just pretty much honey. Flip it around. Show you there. So they're filling this out right now. Not quite all the way. They've done a good job. They're starting to cap it, and that's good. You can see here we've got a lot more going in there. So all the inner frames are going to look a lot more full. They're going to look a lot more like that. And that's going to be our honey check for today. Just want to make sure that they've got some stuff stored up, but it looks like they should be good for winter, I think. So good news.
So for those of you who are honey fans, we have to wait, I guess, a year for our honey to materialize, but there's a lot of honey, natural wild honey on your baklava, right?
Exactly. And now going a little back to your wine. Black Ops. I know some of you have a little bit more of this one, which you're gonna enjoy. You can get the chocolate there. You can get, it's a full
want to smell
chocolate.
I feel like I should smell the mousse and then smell the one.
You can.
I can.
So remember, your wine, you always have to oxygenate it like this. Always have to oxygenate it so you can smell everything. And a nice point when you're in a dinner and you get that little awkward silence, you can talk about this. In your glass, when you're swirling it, you'll see some legs or tears in your glass. Those will tell us three different things. So the amount of tears that you have will tell you what kind of body it has. It might be light body, medium body, or full-bodied wine. This is a full-bodied wine. And then the width of them will tell you the amount of sugar that it has. Doesn't mean that they added any sugar. It just means that the fruit was very ripe or not so ripe, depending on the author, what he wanted to do. So in this case, they're pretty thin.
Yeah, they're thin.
So that means it's not a sweet wine. And then the speed that they go down, that tells you the amount of alcohol that it has. So this one is not a lot. I think it might be a 13%. Something like that. 14%. Yeah, but he has a full body for sure.
And that's how many points this wine?
This is 95 points. So the points that we're talking about is what they get with different people that checked it, which is in this case is wine enthusiasts.
So with that, you're now going to enjoy your chocolate mousse. This is an amazing chocolate mousse, right?
There you go. And he has chestnut puree on top.
A little bit of chestnut puree on top. And remarkably, I think you'll taste the mousse and feel the depth of the flavor of the chocolate. This is organic, 85% chocolate, so it has almost no sugar, and there's no added sugar in the mousse either. So you'd probably be amazed at how rich and delicious it is without the fat and the calories from sugar that normally accompany a mousse. So
exactly.
We're very
no sugar added at all on this one.
Hopefully you love it as much as we do.
So earlier, somebody was asking me about the wine, and I don't like to pair dessert wines with the desserts because I feel that sugar and something sweet don't go together all the time. So I think I needed to highlight both of them with this kind of wine that it's not sweet, but it has all of that fruit that you can taste.
I know we've talked a lot tonight about the farm. I just want to call your attention to the little strap. You can show everybody this strap here that is on your that was on your meal. The band that we designed for the tasting tonight says made with Simply Health Growers produce. Simply Health Growers is our brand from the farm. Oh, it's that one, yeah. So we just want to highlight that, you know, and you probably already figured it out, so I don't have to be redundant, but we're pretty authentic here in terms of our walking the talk and incorporating our good stewardship of the world. It's a small place, this planet that we live on, and boy, aren't we seeing it now with this pandemic and what havoc is being wrought all over the world with this terrible disease. So we want to highlight the things that we do for sustainability, including the hydrogen fuel cell car, the Honda Clarity that I drive, the Mirai that Oscar now drives.
Which is just a step for my Clarity.
Yeah.
Sometime.
Yeah, soon.
When I get chosen.
Soon. Just, you know, we all have an obligation. We live in a small world and on a planet that is very precarious. So we hope that you get a sense of that from our presentation and from the meal. We hope you've enjoyed it. And we would love to have you guys interact with each other, get to know each other. We think this is the start of a relationship. For some, we know you well. For others, you're new friends of NutriFit, and we hope that you'll remain friends and stay involved with us as we continue to try to do our best to keep everybody healthy, happy, and safe. So with that having been said, if anybody wants to take themselves off mute or come off mute and share any thoughts, comments,
questions.
Oscar is a wealth of knowledge, and I'm happy to make up an answer to anything. So please feel free to volunteer. Karen. Anybody? No, not a question tonight.
I don't have a question, but I was going to say that.
There you go.
Fantastic meal. It was.
Thank you.
I had the vegetarian. Erin, my wife, had the omnitarian. unbelievable. Well done. So good. Everything. It was from the beginning to the end. It was unbelievable. Thank you so much. It was awesome.
Thank you.
Everything was amazing, but that beef was so tender.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just peel. It was amazing.
I have to agree on the bœuf en croûte. Excellent.
Nice accent. I don't know how you get it.
Thank you. Oscar,
Yes.
thank you for your solution to fruitcake. I agree with you completely. This is much
thank
better.
you so
It's
much. I thought I was
lovely.
alone in this world.
Thank you. I just don't like it. And they make a different one in England where my husband's from. And I love your solution. Thank you so much.
Yeah, our solution was not to do fruitcake.
Good for you.
So some people called it the flour cake now because he has a lot of flowers in there.
Yeah, it's very
So now we have
Oh, it's
flour.
beautiful.
Instead of fruit, we use flowers.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oscar, how hard was it for you to transition to kind of the NutriFit philosophy?
To healthify, very hard. It wasn't something easy.
Yeah.
So when I came up with an idea for a new dish or something, I had to get healthified. So I always go to Chef Jackie and I go, first, open your mind.
Yeah, he makes me sit down. He starts off with, whenever he comes close to me with this now, Chef, sit down and open your mind. I know I'm in trouble because something's gonna come and it's gonna be oh my God, now what? I did. But that's how we grow. That's how we expand. That's how we learn. That's how we do different things. That's how these tastings began. But I do have to kind of rein him in a little bit, Lois, because the guy is just, he's off the charts on the creative, crazy idea side. So I always have to dial it back a little bit, just not to make it dumb or boring or dull, but to make it healthy. And I will say, and this goes back to the comments that I made at the beginning, that Oscar has really drunk the Kool-Aid. I mean, he's like all on board for no more butter, no more cream, no more salt, we can do other things. But it is a new way of cooking for you, right?
And it was a hard transition, but a very good one, because before this, call it at the Ritz or whatever other restaurant I was making moments for a lot of people, and those were great. But I was making a little 1 hour, 2 hour thing good for them. But now we're changing lives. So when you go into this kind of things and you're helping everybody being healthy, and at the same time taking that idea off their heads that everything that's healthy has to taste really bad. Like everything that you tasted today is very healthy because I got healthified, like I said. But everything is healthy, and that's the way it's supposed to be, because we're supposed to take care of ourselves, and sometimes we put inside ourselves some things that are not good. So we're trying to get everybody to be as healthy as I'm getting.
But fun, you shouldn't have to sacrifice. It shouldn't be painful. I mean, you should be able to enjoy the road, because dessert is part of life, right? We love dessert.
Even four of them.
Even 4 of them is part of what you do. So that's the challenge.
In terms of ingredients, I find it very interesting that we can get a sneak peek in terms of the transition between the traditional world and the healthy world. In terms of ingredients, what was the biggest compromise for you both?
Cream and butter. Easy. That's an easy answer.
No sugar? No?
Not so much, because I'm not so used to that part of sugar. Maybe salt too, a little bit, because in a lot of places you put a lot of salt in everything. Here we do everything is low sodium, and for some special people also without any salt.
Right, like Stacy.
And for you, Jackie, in terms of opening your mind to like new experiences or new ways of doing fun things that remain healthy?
Well, I kind of got on the health bandwagon when I started the company. I mean, this is a mission-driven company, and it was born out of a loss at an early age, like Oscar and like you, Gabrielle. I lost my father when I was young. And in my case, my father died of heart disease, and he just dropped dead one day and never came home. And that was the end of that. So I started the company so I could help people avoid that kind of a loss. And in today's world, he probably would still be alive. So my goal has always been to help people live longer, healthier lives. That's our very simple mission statement. And I really haven't looked back. I did go to Cordon Bleu in Paris long before Oscar was at Farandi. I was at Cordon Bleu, and the mound of butter that you were taught to cook with, right? It just was on a plate, like a big mountain of butter, and it was into the frying pan, butter, butter, butter. But then my dad died, and that changed my life. So for me, the biggest adjustment with having Oscar on board has been to allow myself to have fun and get creative again, and to expand what we do, and to really go high end without compromising the underlying philosophy of the company. And thankfully, we don't have issues about that, because we're both on the same page when it comes to doing that. So the biggest adjustment for me has just been being able to share again with, I don't think I've ever had anybody like Oscar work with me. So to be able to share the passion and yet the creativity, we feed off the creativity that we both have. So we start getting excited and throwing ideas back and forth, and before you know it, we have something wild and wonderful planned. And that's been a big adjustment for me, because I've waited a very long time for that, Gabrielle.
And not everybody can do that, because it requires a lot of openness, a lot of open dialogue, a lot of trust, and a lot of faith in each other. So you guys are taking it to a whole new level while sticking, remaining true to your mission and making so many people, all of us, so happy.
Well,
so thank you for that. And thank you
Again,
for the story.
That's why we started with La Joie de Mon Père. So all the fathers.
Well,
Great. So this is my fourth of six, and I'd like to say thanks to Jim Burrell for hosting all of us from Honda. It's just been a wonderful, wonderful experience. And every time we give you feedback, you always incorporate it into the next one. It just gets better and better and better. And thank you too for doing such a great job. And thank you, Jim, for hosting us. We really appreciate it.
And thank you for the compliment, and please keep the criticisms, comments, questions, suggestions coming, because we don't see it from the participant standpoint. So we don't know what you guys see. We can watch the Zoom recording, but we don't have the experience from the participant standpoint. So that's why it's so valuable to us, and we really hope that you will honor the request to give us those suggestions and those recommendations, because we want to make this something that we do on an ongoing basis. We already have so many great ideas, and we want to take you to so many places gastronomically, that we want to make sure it's a meaningful experience for you. So please do keep the suggestions coming, and stay connected.
Yeah, so it's absolutely, it's like a family that's connected through food and wine and just friendship. So that's great.
Thank you, John.
Going back to Hungary and the desserts there, because they're amazing pastries. we're all good with there.
Okay, all right. Well, I've got a few more up my sleeve. Mom had a repertoire. I haven't exhausted it yet. I found her little recipe book, which was hysterical. I mean, it's half in Hungarian, half in English. Half the recipes have no measurements. Half of them have measurements in decaliters. Who ever heard of a deciliter? I mean, I had to look it up and convert everything, and then just, draw on my own background to try to fill in the gaps. So I think the Maco Shandio should be called a miracle pastry, because it's a miracle that it came out at all. But I'll keep trying. Anybody else want to share anything? Say hi to friends, family? Go ahead.
No, just you got to get that Murai out of there and get one of the Honda products into his.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying.
I'm working on that.
Whenever I get accepted now.
I just want to congratulate you both, because you did this so amazing, and I'm really grateful with both of you, and this was a great experience to share it with all of you, and to meet some new faces. This was a wonderful experience. Thank you so much.
Thank you for participating.
Thank you. And Sally Peters, it was good to see you smile every once in a while. I'm glad the food brought some smiles to your face.
I think it's the wine, actually.
Or a combination.
Well, we're going to keep that as part of this event on an ongoing basis. For those that enjoy wine, and we have some great mocktails planned for the next adventure, which is going to be a little bit of an international tour, as I mentioned before, because a lot of us would love to go to the Amalfi Coast, but that's not in the travel plans or the budget, or realistically with COVID still rampant around the world. We're not getting on planes, we're going on vacations. So we want to take you there from a culinary standpoint, and we hope you'll join us at the end of January. I think the 29th is the date that we picked, but we'll let you know. And I hope you'll let us know what we can do better the next time around. Jim, thank you so much for bringing your friends and colleagues over to share with us. It's so nice to expand the circle of friendship and meet new people and have an opportunity. And I know Stacy was here a minute ago. I don't know if she's still here.
Okay.
Stacy, thank you so much for being such a wonderful client, friend, and participant in all of this. And
I love you.
Bringing people
Actually,
Thank you.
without you, I wouldn't be eating.
It's a pleasure to feed you all, right? I think we can successfully say that. So with that, I think we need to let people go and have the rest of their Friday night.
But we have to tell Regina also that we're making her
duck. Yes,
her duck.
Her duck. Duck is
their duck confit.
For those of you who do receive NutriFit meals on a regular basis or an occasional basis, or would like to, we'll have some Christmas holiday specials on the menu, and one of them will be duck confit.
On demand.
On demand. All right. So keep an eye out for that, and maybe we'll have an opportunity to share that.
We appreciate it.
Thank you, Oscar. Thank you.
So we'll say good night and adieu, right?
Adieu.
We'll see you
Thank you so much.
Adieu.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Everybody. Thank you.
Have a good weekend.
Nice to meet you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Happy Friday.